Hello and welcome. I present to you a theory, a stop and swap theory, presented by one Spiral Mountain member, Bannipper. Now, I've taken it upon my task to present this theory to the community of YouTubers, viewers, and Banjo-Kazooie fans alike. I shall now read to you the theory in itself, unedited by Bannipper. Originally, Nintendo and Sony were to work together to create the PlayStation, but Nintendo dropped out. This not only resulted in the birth of the PlayStation, but it caused some things in the Banjo games to be removed, which I believe were still in development at the time. This could have been carried over to an expansion pack, but Nintendo, too afraid that Mario would be overshadowed by the project, forced Rare to cease developing Stop and Swap, just to save their precious flagship character from the void. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could there be two? Well, the first would be the tie between Banjo-Kazooie and its sequel, a masterpiece, by the way, Banjo-Tooie. Now, considering that in Conker's Bad Fur Day there is an area in the windmill you could never access, perhaps in the beta version, Conker could enter the windmill, but instead, Rodent destroys it. And in Donkey Kong 64, there is a beta picture of a refrigerator with Banjo and Kazooie's faces on it. This leads me to think that there may have been more than one version of Stop and Swap. The first are with the Ice Key and Mystery Eggs, and their awkward resemblance to the multicolored bananas and the question marks in Truff and Scoof's HQ. Sure, you may have been able to do Stop and Swap if you had all the items, but considering that the Mystery Eggs each have the same color as the bananas that DK, Lanky Kong, Tiny Kong, Diddy Kong, and Chunky Kong collect all the time, not to mention that there are the question marks in Truff and Scoof's HQ to consider. 2. And the exact same chime of Stop and Swap being heard every time you get to fight a boss. You get to fight a boss character. Donkey Kong may have had the biggest contribution to Stop and Swap out of every game being made at the time. As for Conker, he wound up going M, which I think ruined Stop and Swap further. But if he didn't, I am sure that there would be further evidence of him being linked to the project. Here's another theory I had. There were 2 fake eggs. I thought about the matter ever since seeing that board thingy and grabbed by the ghoulies, which I came up with the conclusion. If the eggs were easy to find, then they were fake. Here are the real and fake eggs in every given order. Blue egg. The blue egg is obviously real. You can find it in Gobi's Valley in the stone door where you ground pound Gobi so that he may spit out an extra honeycomb. You then follow a straight path until you will reach a tomb and a button. All you had to do was press the button, get the egg inside the tomb, and it was yours for the taking. Pink egg. This too was real. This can be found on Treasure Trove Cove inside Shark Food Island. All you had to do was go up a series of indentations that spiral upward until you finally reach the egg. Red egg. This one I think is fake, seeing that you are required to go here. It would seem illogical for you to get such a super hard item in such an easy way. Cyan egg. This one is real. You can find it hidden within the X-marked barrel in the wine cellar in Mad Monster Mansion. Simple as that. However, since this is an item that was behind something, just like the Ice Key, it gave me the impression that it was very real and very special. Green egg. This could be the last of the fakes. You find it on top of Lago, the toilet, which is a person that you have no choice but to meet up with during your travels. Yellow egg. This was a confusing item, as it was both easy to find and the location was reachable. However, Banjo-Tooie may have provided us with a helpful hint. The egg is in Heggy's shed. This showed that the yellow egg was real. Besides, seeing that it was in Nabnut's house, wintertime, at the time, you'd think that there would have to be some significance as to why the area wasn't removed. After all, it would be a waste of space if there weren't any items to collect. My point of view changed somewhat afterward. You can blame Captain Blackeye for that. The red egg was found in the captain's quarters, which specifies that the red egg was linked to him. I, however, am convinced 110% that the green egg is a farce. Each egg, I think, may be affiliated with a different franchise. Yellow egg, either DK, yellow equals bananas, or Conker, Nabnut being a squirrel, could signify that the egg is linked to him. Blue egg, Banjo-Kazooie, obviously. Pink egg, Banjo-Tooie, Captain Black Eye's numerous Treasure Trove Cove pictures. Cyan egg, I'm still thinking about this one. Red egg, Conker, same color as his fur, and you can find some beta version of Barry in Level Rusty Bucket Bay, which is where the red egg is found in. Or Banjo-Tooie, which, like I stated earlier, would implicate Captain Black Eye. And just for the sheer hang of it, green egg. Nothing. If my calculations are correct, then there might be more than one Stop and Swap. The first being the one we know of today, the other involving every franchise linked to Stop and Swap merging into one big super game. This means we could have seen K. Rool getting the crap beaten out of him by Banjo and Kazooie in the final showdown in DK64, Conker feeding oranges to Chimpy, and Donkey Kong entering Windy's windmill. If you have anything to say about my theory, please speak up. It would be nice to hear about another person's perspective. That is all. This theory comes from Bannipper of SpiralMountain.co.uk. Thank you, and good night.